Hello and welcome. We got ourselves another student expose, a high quality game. Both players playing at 87, 88%. And AI thinks that the end game of both players was really, really strong. So there's going to be a lot for us to learn from here. Just kidding. Nah, most likely not. But okay, so we got a free pawn early on. That's always a good thing. May as well just take. Now, when you have extra material, what do you do here? This is a key question, and I'm curious to see how you respond. Not good. Not good. This allows him to do his one thing. The one thing he's trying to do. No, this is not good. The best way to handle this, whenever your opponent has sacrificed a pawn to get a lead in development, you've got to bunker down. At least that's my approach. My approach is okay, I'm a pawn up. I'm just going to play very defensively for the next 3, 4 moves and rest in that pawn plus advantage. So I like to go with g6, bishop g7, and castle. Don't have to think about anything else. Just do that. You're a pawn up, just Fianchetto and castle. You're good. What can go wrong? You can't lose. But this, unfortunately, falls into okay, bishop check, queen trade, and now messy, and holding on to it even. That's greedy. Wow, this is complicated. Definitely some complicated stuff, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, okay? AI thinks the best move was knight out, which it may well be. It may well be. It's also definitely a solid move. Anything where you manage to develop your pieces is typically solid. I think the key point to observe here is the okay, it's gone way too deep. The key point to observe is that he played e6. E6 is better in these kind of setups when they've given you something. Take a more conservative approach. You can try to find a way to get your bishop out first and then take it, but take a conservative approach. Okay, so after e5, the opponent doesn't exploit it. He goes for a more slow-winded, deep, grandmasterly style. Okay, this guy's a deep, deep, deep GM. And that's good news for you because it buys you just enough time to do what you need to do. Uh, Probably not optimal. I would have even reckoned that bishop here is slightly better because you already know his next move. But what you're planning to do after he does that, maybe this, would you fall into this? Queen here, of course, is playable. Anyway, whatever. All good and jolly, and the opponent letting black have a nice, comfortable game, playing a move like a3 because he's worried about knight b4. You know, the kind of thing you shouldn't be worried about, really. There's so much other stuff to happen in this game. You haven't even developed your knight yet. So a3 is a very soft move. This is also not great. Also not great, but not horrible. I think bishop here is nice. It's a tough move, though. Like, what happens after bishop there? Uh, you can expect a setup like this. And if he decides to push forward with the pawn, then I think you just go back. And you might think like, well, how is that good for me? Well, it's good in a way because your pawn is no longer directly attacked. The pawn here is blocking the bishop's view. That's one good thing. Uh, Not much else other than that, in all honesty. The other good thing is the knight can't develop there. So you already know where he's going to develop. So it's giving you more information too. All right. So what we got instead here was now after you attacked, he went for a double attack on you. Very, very fishy, you know. But don't think you responded the correct way because now you're letting him hustle you. You're letting him hustle you. Um, I thought this would be the good move, but anyway, it's a complicated game actually, and I have to say you're also playing it quite fast and loose, letting a lot of pieces remain semi-loose, and that's fine. But how long can you handle the pressure? You have to know when to dilute the tension once the tension's amping up like this, and you finally dilute the tension. Finally diluting the tension. That's good news. Good news for the home team here. Now we have a settled position. Okay, it was really starting to boil over there, but now we have a settled position and should play a move like this to just solidify this key pawn. Well done. Well done. Now, how does black handle this? This is a key moment in the game, actually. I think a move like bishop here is quite interesting. Knight here is also interesting, but no. Yeah, it's not an easy position to play. You also have to watch out for this kind of. I would vote for bishop here right now. Okay, queen there was what the computer liked. A6. You were worried about b4. I get it. B5, I mean. But the good news is knight over here is still defending the pawn. And once you get your bishop here, which you pretty much should, then the knight can hop here and really give that bishop a hard time. So yeah. Okay, queen up would have been a better bet according to the computer. Facilitating a trade, perhaps so. Perhaps so, actually, yeah. Objectively, it's probably better. We have a lot of absorption of pressure. Whenever you're absorbing big time pressure like this, it's only a matter of time before something cracks. So let's see how long he spent on this move. 2 minutes and 7 seconds to play, well, a nothing move at the end of the day. It's a nothing move because you've loosened up a knight, you've exposed the queen to some pressure, and this pawn here is not helping you achieve any strategic objective. So it's a nothing move. And we have to wonder why wouldn't he play knight in the middle or bishop in the middle? Why wouldn't he do this? Is he worried about the pawn just simply kicking him back? It's a good question to ask yourself, okay? I'm going to assume you're worried about that. And therefore, I'm going to check what was it? Oh, f5. f5 as a key idea here. f5 as a key idea here. And actually, it's so powerful that it forces the queen away and you can then capture the knight. Of course, he captures your knight after, but it's in favorable terms for you overall. Very advanced. But yeah, I guess it's understandable that he didn't know how he would respond to this and therefore figured wise ways to move. You have to sometimes see the in-between move, I guess. All right. But now we got an absolute stunner of a move, but it shouldn't come as a surprise in a way, because you've left open a basic tactical motif, and basic tactical motifs invite the calculating mind, the chess mind, who only does puzzles and no strategy, only puzzles, 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 all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. That's what most chess players are like. They just do these puzzles and they love these tactics. And it's simple. Once you know what you're trying to do, which is attack a high value piece, while releasing a discovered attack, then it's gold. So we have a response here which is not considered the most accurate, but it's not bad either, I think. It's not like horrible. Uh, I was thinking this move, but wow, computer thinks knight out in the middle. It's really tricky for me. I don't fully understand that. Okay, you block you block the queen's defense of the knight with this pawn. Is that what it could be? No, you just have to capture it and capture back with the rook. Okay, so you accept the trade down, right? Okay. Yeah, makes sense. It seems manageable, maybe. But yeah, tough move, and now we got a game. But the only problem is this loose knight. You know, if it weren't for that loose knight, everything else is fine. If you hadn't played b5, if you'd done anything else like this, the same motif, and this queen trade and knight capture would have been fine. It would have been relatively equal. But because of that loose knight, it's no longer equal. It's now very much in White's favor. But this is excellent play, breaking up the king side. That's the right way. That's the right way. And releasing a discovered attack, not considered the best move, but I like it. It creates potential for tricks. You know, even if he goes and catches a free rook, you got a trick on him because you get check and win his queen. So it's a lovely tricky move. It's a lovely tricky move to play, and I like that. That's what you need. You need tricks when the game is going. And he fell right into the track. Oh my goodness! What a the trickster smixter. Well done, the trickster smixter. Great job there. But now, can you finish it off here? Can you play with the right technique? You are a single pawn up, but he has a slightly more active rook, I would argue. You have to know what's your endgame plan going to be. Now, principles of an endgame are you want to keep your rook active. You want your rook to be hunting after shit, constantly hunting after shit, uh, probing, not just sitting around defending the base. Like moving the rook here, that would be a bad move. That's like giving him all the power, essentially. Maybe not in this exact position, but in general, that's how endgames are. Another thing is you also want to consider where are your weak spots and how can how can you hold on to all these pawns without losing them and still having an active rook. Now, my opinion is rook here followed by rook here could be pretty damn good because it's a very active file and it defends a weak pawn and another weak pawn. The pawns which are far away from the king, those are the ones you got to babysit. These guys are fine. King can take care of these guys. But these guys, they need extra help. And I think the best way to help them is like this. Rook there. It's just my personal opinion right now. But anyway, he's gone with active rook, and that you can never go wrong with active rook. You can never go wrong with it. So this is good, but that capture is bad. That's a tactical miss. A small tactical miss. I mean, if you just kill it, let him kill you, then you kill back. Uh, so it's a clear-cut calculation issue here. You spent 20 seconds on it, but this is not good because now you capture this, he captures that. It's equal. It's friendly. You don't want to get too friendly with your enemies, man. You don't want to get friendly with them. Now you got yourself into a very tricky one. I mean, this is a move I would have played personally. But it's a tricky game. It's a tricky game. I mean, I just want to see, like, why not? Why not that? Okay, because he plays b5, and now if you go for this line here, then the rook shifts over here. You capture this pawn, he captures that pawn, and it's a 3 versus 2 draw, objectively a draw. So in the high level gameplay, the best way to improve your odds of winning is to hold on to this pawn as long as you can, because you need the dynamic to play out like that. A 3 versus 2 game is a relatively easier draw. And now comes a key question, but here I would definitely say you can capture because it's going to be a 2 versus 1. Oh, big miss there, big miss. You gotta simple tactics. Simple tactics. I know it's an easy game, only a few points left, but you should see these simple tactics, my friend. Okay. Now White's trying to do the masala swing here. White's trying to do the masala swing, and both sides are just. I don't think pawn up is such a big mistake as the computer is saying. In fact, it's remarkable to me that the computer thinks that's a mistake because it just seems way scarier. Way scarier. And what if he didn't do that? But what if he just played this? You still do the same thing, I guess. And you can take the pawn all the way here, or the king definitely has chances of making it there. I know the computer eval is saying black is winning, and I believe it. But black can fuck up easily. That's for sure as well. Uh, the good news is white's rook is kind of like stuck, right? So as long as you don't do anything dumb, you should be able to parry these pawns forward and take everything forward one step at a time and then crush through and mate him. That's the winning plan here. Okay, let's go back to the game review. So got a lot of we got a lot of this wannabe GM stuff here, but now we have this 3 versus 2 position, and 3 versus 2 position is also a difficult one to know how to play correctly. Honestly, I doubt my own chess ability sometimes because of these 3+2 stuff. I usually can handle it quite okay, but what is the perfect technique is not really clear to me. Like, what are the principles of it? This is a rather long video for a student expose, but I think it's worthwhile. This is a technique which computer is playing with, but as you see, it's not so penetrative. It's kind of like just holding the 8 ball. It's an even game. It is an even game. You see, the computer eval is equal, even though you're a pawn up. That's the rook endgames for you. They say all rook endgames are drawn, and this is what it means. Playing with danger here, you should definitely go and try to knock off one of these. Now it would suddenly become an opposite-sided draw. But you have to know your technique here. And, well, third rank defense is definitely the technique. Wow. Did he just... He came here and something didn't happen. Okay, wait a second. So his king came there, and here you played what computer thinks is the best move. Although I am not sure. Is it really? Because I would have thought that playing here, for example, is just as good. And this is a third rank defense. Okay, it is just as good. It's a bit scarier though. King check, and now if he goes forward with the pawn, then you go all the way back with the rook, and now you have the infinite checks against the king. That this is what I studied. But king rook back all the way here seems to be just fine enough. It's the same pattern which ultimately resulted. And then clean waste this time. I knew it wasn't a real excellent endgame because this doesn't require excellence. Is he trying to win on the clock or what? Okay, anyway, that's a great game, and thank you for watching this review. There have been a lot of exciting points in this match. Let's just take a quick recap. When you get an early pawn, you want a fianchetto after it and just keep it simple. Don't be expansive after you've already been given a pawn. You don't need to expand. Okay. Next, you can handle tension, but you just watch out. Okay, the tension of pieces once the ratchet's up, you've got to make sure you loosen the tension sometimes. And okay, it was done well enough here. Don't leave motifs hanging on your head for so long. If you leave a motif hanging around, it's going to get exploited. You can count on it. So you walked into this one. But I have to say, really well done with the spice play. Spice boy is back in town. Yeah, that was a good move. And rook endgame, he didn't play it perfectly. He didn't play it perfectly. You could have, but you didn't. It's not easy. It's not easy. It takes years of practice. Years of practice. All right. Thank you for watching, and catch you later.